Could it be that the so-called soul is just another way of describing the biological energy that is passed down through our cells from one generation to the next? Let's think about this for a second. The idea of the Atman, or soul, entering the body may have been a convenient explanation for people who were searching for answers in ancient times but didn't have the scientific knowledge we now possess. Most people viewed life as a journey and weren't necessarily concerned with dissecting its beginning or end. It made sense at the time, but does it still make sense now? With today's advancements in science and technology, we are in a much better position to explain these mysteries of life. So, why not consider the possibility that the idea of the soul entering the body was introduced as a simple way to grasp the mystery of life and that the original wisdom might have been misinterpreted or lost over time? Once the idea of the soul entering the body was introduced, there was an inevitable need to explain its exit. What happens after death? Where does the soul go? And this is where the concept of heaven and hell comes in. But think about this, what if these ideas of heaven and hell were created not to explain the mysteries of the universe but to manipulate and scare people? Over time, these simplistic explanations of life after death were expanded, layered with superstitions, and used to instill fear, and they became tools of control. It didn't stop there. To make the story more complete, the soul's re-entry into a new body had to be determined by something, karma. The idea of karma became a way to justify why one soul re-entered the world as a human, another as an animal. And while the concept of karma in itself is very respectable and powerful, this afterlife narrative was clearly designed to create a cycle of fear, where people were controlled by the thought of punishment or reward after death. But here's the critical question, why should we believe that the soul gets punished after death? If karma is truly effective, shouldn't we face the consequences of our actions while we're alive? Isn't that more in line with how life really works? And here's where another serious issue arises. The concept of karma and rebirth can also be used as an escape route, a way for people to justify bad behavior in this life without worrying about the consequences. After all, if the punishment is reserved for the next life, it allows people to escape accountability for their actions right now. This promotes a dangerous mindset where individuals may feel comfortable doing wrong, thinking that they'll deal with the consequences later. But society doesn't need good behavior in the next life, it needs good behavior now. The future is shaped by what we do today, and if people aren't held accountable in this life, how can we expect a better future? What began as a simple, helpful explanation to ease people's minds about life and death has now snowballed into a maze of fear and superstition. Over time, these ideas were twisted, not to encourage thought or inquiry, but to control people through fear. People stopped asking questions, and the original knowledge got lost in layers of confusion. So, let's not shy away from questioning these long-standing beliefs. Let's reframe the way we think about the soul, about life after death, and about karma. Let's challenge ourselves to think critically and deeply, rather than accepting convenient but unchallenged explanations. We hope that you find this video encouraging. Please share the video and subscribe to my channel if you find this video helpful. Thank you.